Hi, Amanda here for today's Fearless Friday video. And it's going to be about when not to settle in divorce. So when you go through the divorce timeline, there's going to be a couple times when you come across like a big wall or a bridge that you need to cross. And you need to know exactly what you're willing to compromise on and what you're not willing to compromise on. And it's really important for you to differentiate between these two because it is not helpful to anybody to get stuck on nitpicky things that really don't matter just because you want to go to war with your ex and you're angry. And that's not beneficial to anyone. So even if they're doing that, you need to make the choice to not do that and instead choose to take the higher road, which I know can be hard at times, but really it's more beneficial to everybody involved. But what you don't need to do is totally settle and give up everything that it is that you want. And this is where coaching is really important because unless you are talking with someone who's actually been through this process and able to help you work through divorce and heartbreak, it's really easy to just want to rush the process to avoid the pain. Right? You want to get it over with because you don't want to do this anymore. But what ends up happening is you end up making poor decisions in that place because you just want to wrap things up. And I will say sometimes a lawyer isn't going to be the best person to help you in this stage, or a family member, because they're all biased. Lawyers are trying to get more money out of you, and not every lawyer, but generally. And family really has a skewed view of things because they're on your side. So what you need to do is have coaching around what you should stick to and what you shouldn't stick to. And I had to choose a couple of things that I was not really willing to bend on that really mattered. And the rest of the stuff I needed to let go. And what happens is when you're in the heat of it, one person will generally fold to the other person depending on who has more of an agenda trying to speed this through. So going fast isn't always the best solution. You want to move smartly but efficiently. You don't want things drug out, in court over ridiculous things. So I invite you to take a chill pill, but take a minute to just check in with yourself and realize what are the things I'm really not willing to compromise on, whether that's something to do with your child custody, whether that's something to do with a piece of property, or something that you guys went into business on. Whatever it is, you need to figure out what your best case scenario is for those things, and then the rest that you're willing to let go. And then when they meet you there and they're not willing to compromise on those things, I just want to encourage you to sometimes push through, even if it's going to take a little bit more time, and not in a manipulative way, but you don't want to just settle and just move things quickly because you're afraid of the divorce process, afraid of how long it's going to take, or even just the feeling of wanting to rush through it so you can date and be with someone else. That typically is not a good energy as well. So what I want you to do is make a list right now of everything that is your non-negotiables that you're not willing to compromise on, whether that's something to do with your children's health and safety or something that you know that you absolutely need going into this divorce. And the rest of it, I want you to put on the other side of things that you're willing to bend on. And I want you to really check in here what is important, not making your spouse angry or not, winning or going to war, but what it is that you actually really need to be able to move through this process and feel safe and effective on the other side. So what the worst thing would be you just compromise on everything and yeah, you're done, you're through your divorce, but now you have nothing that you actually need. A lot of people can actually feel guilty for fighting for what they deserve. So there's a lot of times that fathers really give up their right to see their children because they don't know the law and they think that the law always sides with mothers. But men, I invite you to really, step up and ask for what you want and know your rights when it comes to those things. And, financially as well, learning to protect yourself and, being fair. So, not looking to steal or take anything that isn't yours or come out of the divorce like with all this money, but more just being practical, like what does the child need provided for? Or what is the fair thing to do? And in that, you can find freedom because you're not being controlled by someone else. You're not going to be controlled by anger. Instead, you're making a rational decision of what it is that you need to hang on to move through this divorce. So I invite you to not cave, not bend, not rush, not be fearful, but honestly look at what you need and want and communicate that clearly. So that's today's Fearless Friday. I want to invite you. I've opened up my calendar over this holiday weekend to provide some one-on-one coaching with you, and I would love to do that. So take advantage of that. I've got that link posted in the email that I sent you on a way that you can book a call with me where we can get clear about where you're at in this process of divorce and give you some help and support to get through to the other side. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.